FedEx full, we commanding the block. Burgundy and gold, got the city on lock. Hustling plays, they don't need to pretend. DC reppin' strong and we fight to the end. Commanders moving, no breaks, no pause. Hands in the dirt, respecting the call. K-Dot in the mid, dissect the grind. District divided with a city in mind. Join the damn squad, don't miss a bit. And you gotta spread the words, or shit is shit. K-Dot.
Welcome, everyone, to District Divided, a DC sports podcast. More specifically, a Washington Commanders podcast. I am Amit. That is K-Dot. This episode, we just played the Cincinnati Bengals in week 2 of the preseason. Game just concluded. We lost 31-17. We're going to give our reaction to the game, winners from the game, losers from the game. We got the comment mailbag, as we always do. And before we begin this maybe short episode or long episode, if you could please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, comment, as you always do, and K-Dot.
Share this shit, no fluff. Let's get through this preseason.
Let's do it. So the starters played on both sides of the ball, and the Cincinnati Bengals began with possession. They ended up scoring on their first drive. Then Jaden Daniels enters the field. And let me say, I was at the game near the Commanders bench. The place was bumping the moment that he got the ball, and like a hot knife through butter, we end up scoring. He is done for the night. Bengals go on one more time. First quarter was mostly starters for the Bengals.
Yeah.
And then for the Commanders, a sprinkling of second teamers, first teamers. So focus on the first quarter first, K-Dot, then we can get to some of the other stuff. What were your thoughts?
First thing that ran through my head after seeing our offense on the field was what you said, which is this is the Bengals defense. And it was very, very adamant, very, very, very clear to anyone that could see with the goddamn holes that were opened up. In the run game, that defense is trash.
It's bad.
So, yeah, there's some things you can kind of take away, but there are other things that, like, you don't necessarily want to hang your hat on anything. And this one, it's all about kind of rhythm, right? So, like, if you look at the first quarter, some things that are good. The Deebo Samuel end around. Yeah. Inject that shit right in my veins, baby. And on that one, Ben Sinnott, best play of the night was a block on that run. I think that's the last time I'll say your name, Ben, until we criticize. Beyond that, JD5. I mean, he didn't throw the ball except to throw Bill his first touchdown ball. I think it was the only throw he had. And I think Trey even made that joke, or Joe Buck made that joke, so I'm not going to take credit for it. But he looked great. He was in the short. He was having fun. We now have new grill Jaden. With the jewels and stuff, like it's dope. It's just to see the excitement in everybody, and to see how much he wanted that touchdown. I wanted him to slide. I know you were at the stadium. What was the reaction, everybody, on that run?
Well, initially a gasp. Then a bunch of people did want him to slide. I've seen him slide, so I was just like, go. and he did thankfully score on that play. Go ahead.
No, it was great. When the sideline with Lisa Salters, she said, everyone in the stadium wanted you to go down. He's like, yeah, but then everybody shared. So it was a win-win for everybody. And it's like, right. Yeah, okay. Well, that's why his ass didn't play anymore. I can tell you that much. Dan Quinn, it was to see the first quarter to me, the big thing in me was like vibes, team vibes. And like this is a good feeling. It's just regardless of, we don't really care about the outcome of these games. It's just like, what do we see in certain aspects of things? And when it came to the starters, there were just some things that just looked good. Jaden looked poised. They didn't really have we know the Bengals defense is trash, but the run game looked good. Bill looked good. Beyond that, on defense, Javon Kinlaw, Jesus Christ, boy. Hot damn. We might have something.
Yeah.
We might actually have some. He was a monster. Like, he really does look just like a monster next to some of the offensive. And it's not like the Bengals offensive line is anything to fucking sneeze at. Like, it's not a terrible offensive line. He looked damn good in certain aspects of that. So I did love that. If we're keeping it strictly to first quarter, I think that's probably everything I have on the positive side. Mm-hmm. Negatively, Frankie, I know that they were asking you to do something a little different this time. Like, they had him calling out the defense. I think they're trying to get him into more of a leadership role with Bobby not in. And they had Madrano and him kind of switching roles at certain points. But they're baiting you, man.
Yeah.
they're baiting you, man. Like that. What is? I mean, it's a preseason and nobody really gives a shit. But I can only imagine if they turn over the ball on downs, then I'm wondering how much longer Joe Burrow might play. I'm wondering how much. What are the Bengals thinking? What does it really look like as far as us? It's just interesting, but it's just one of those things where defensively, Frankie, it's coming. You can't do that, man.
Right. I think that's well said, K-Dot. So for the offense, just going back to what you were talking about, they sort of get an incomplete, and it's not their fault.
Right.
It's just the Cincinnati Bengals are so porous on defense, as you guys saw, and it looked exactly like it looked against the Philadelphia Eagles for the Cincinnati Bengals. So they got work to do because Will Shipley gashed him. Chris Rodriguez on his very first run, 40 yards. Nice and easy. Deebo Samuel for that. And then Jaden runs one in. Right, 4 plays, 74 yards, touchdown. I'd like to say Jaden looked poised, but it was one drop back, and he scored running. So I would have liked to have seen him throw a ball to somebody. We didn't get to see that, and Dan Quinn, understandably, I want to say the plan was 2 series, Jaden, but after he made that run, understandably and correctly, made it 1 series, and was like, okay, that's all. Also, we were missing 3/5 of our starting offensive line, so it makes total sense there. Defensively, the first drive had some promise, especially because we got to 4th and 3.
Right.
And so that's exciting. Then Frankie jumps offside. The little go ball to Jamar Chase or Noah doesn't turn.
Yeah.
I think it's the right call. You leave it up to the officials. It just is what it is.
It was a jersey pull. They showed it on TV. It was over.
Yeah, I missed the jersey pull, but I saw he didn't turn. And all of a sudden, I was like, well, that's susceptible to a flag. I watched with Paulie Polo. Shout out. He's the one that hooked up the tickets. He immediately was like, that's PI. And so they ended up scoring on that. But it was a positive after. So when Joe Burrow and company walked back on the field, they did get a stop. They did get a sack near the end zone. I thought that was great. So I think that's a nice little confidence booster for the defense. That got gashed the last time that we played the Cincinnati Bengals. It's their first action in the preseason. So I viewed the first quarter in terms of the vibes and in terms of how the team did. Good. I think it was a nice showing for the first team tonight. So that's the way I viewed the first quarter. Any reaction or thoughts to that?
No, I think that's probably the best way to put it. Is it looking at the first team, if we don't see them anymore the rest of the preseason, which is most likely, then you're feeling, even though it's the Bengals defense, what you saw in certain pockets, what you're seeing with Bill, what you're seeing as far as Jaden. Like, I get it, didn't really have a lot of drop back, whatever, the one drop back. But even in that run, there was we've talked about how early on in games, sometimes he could be a little much.
Yes.
Like, it didn't feel that way today. Like, it just felt as though it's like, hey, man, I'm playing football now, and this is what I do. Like, it just felt really, really fun for him. And maybe that's because the Cincinnati Bengals defense sucked. Because, like, Lord knows, if it was damn near any other safety or linebacker, that boy would have paid. But the Bengals, they just can't do it.
Yeah, and to be fair on that play, if you guys end up watching it again, I want to say, because this is me drawing from memory watching it live, Deebo had a quick slant that I do think was open if he chose to.
Not as open as you think it is.
Okay.
Only, there's a player does drop back, the one that actually Jaden is able to move by to get where he needs to get to. There's a lane. There's a small window for Deebo, but he's got to take the hit.
Okay, perfect. So that I would have not remembered it perfectly. So no, I appreciate that. So anyway, that's the first quarter. Then we get to the second quarter. And if we think about the offense specifically, that's going to be Josh Johnson. We're going to veer into Sam Hartman as well on offense and a bit more of the run game and a bit of Jalen Lane as well. What were your thoughts there, K-Dot?
First off, it felt as though Josh Johnson had solidified that he was taking that. If we were going to run with a third quarterback, he just took that job from Sam Hartman up until the pick. And then it became, all right, we might not have a third quarterback. Like, it just might be a thing. It's just, it felt as though he had an opportunity to shut the door on this, and he didn't. And you could see over the course of the game, they kind of went back and forth between the two. So it's like we don't know. But the second quarter, I mean, this is when we start talking about more of Bill kind of getting into his own thing, getting more carries. I loved a lot of continuation of stuff that we saw last year. That GT counter with Paul and Wiley and everything, where they got the pull, where it was a 30-something yard run or whatever for him.
27 for
27
touchdown.
Okay, yeah, that was dope. That was dope as hell. Yeah, there was just certain things that I was seeing as far as that goes. It was like, okay, I can see what Cliff Kingsbury's offense is like looking to do, and and that's why. And we're gonna get into the Brian Robinson and everything, but it's like in the year 2, they have players that are more specifically designed to do things in this offense, and it seems as though when you see when you see both are running, like Rodriguez had a damn good game alongside Bill, and both of those guys, I think. What you see is where the lanes open up in this offense, as far as like the draw runs, you need to be quicker than some of the guys that we've had. Like you need to be more shifty. You need to be able to hit that hole. And it seems like we got guys that are more prepared to do it, or at least more thunder and lightning in it than B-Rob has been. So like that was promising. That looked pretty decent to me. Noah Ibinagani on defense, like they had him out there on the outside because he was starting in front of he was starting instead of Trey Amos, which nobody knew he wasn't going to play until now. But Noah, he had like you have the Jamar Chase thing, but he showed every once in like Noah was trying his damnedest. Like you could see it's just not his natural position, but it is definitely something that he was like giving it his all. Like I do like that they're diversifying a lot of things that are happening in the secondary, so that everybody kind of learns everything. And I like that they kept him out there for quite some time throughout the course of that game. So like I did appreciate that a ton. Yeah, I mean, beyond that, yeah, I think we start getting into some of the negatives. I think Will Harris. Will Harris had a couple good plays down there in the line. Very, very physical. Was very dope. And Quan had a couple flashes
early on as well. The very first play, he had a nice tackle.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, it's so like but coming out of that, like yeah, that's pretty it. That's it.
Yeah. So I mean, on the quarterbacks, start with Sam. It's definitely like, I mean, this was also ESPN Monday Night Football. Good chance to audition, right, for all 32, the one you're on, the one you're against, and the other 30 teams. And frankly, it just could not have really gone worse, unfortunately for him. So when he first came on, he had 2 near interceptions, and then he gets another chance on a new drive, and the very first throws a pick. It results in probably the biggest winner of the night, Mitch Tinsley, a wide receiver for the Cincinnati Bengals, who was on our practice squad a year ago. He looked great. Shout out Mitch Tinsley. Wow. Especially that second touchdown. Good Lord.
And
good for him.
On TV, Joe Burrow called him out specifically. So, and we know Joe Burrow's acting as GM, at least offensively for Cincinnati.
So congrats on making the team. So shout out Mitch Tinsley. But Sam unfortunately did himself no favors. Josh didn't play a whole lot better. He started off well, and then the interception was bad. It was a very bad pick. So to your point, K-Dot, maybe we don't carry a third quarterback. If we do, it'll be Josh amongst the 4 quarterbacks that we have right now. But I don't know. Maybe we look outside of it. So that's the quarterbacks. Running backs. I think the big winner tonight was not Bill. I think it was Chris Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Because each time he touched the ball, yes, it's the Bengals defense. So I will even take away the 40-yard run because that was just nicely blocked. I think the Bengals are a mess. But just the decisiveness running the ball and the quick cut, it was correct each time. Like Chris, I think, had the best game. And then with Bill, I think he played well. And they gave him a lot of chances in open space. They wanted to see what that looked like. And so I think as of right now, and K-Dot, you had alluded to it with Brian Robinson. For those that don't know, I assume all of you do. Brian Robinson is being shopped by the team, according to Jordan Schultz. And that was more or less confirmed when Mike Garafolo reported that by mutual decision, Brian Robinson was not going to play in this game. So odds are he's not going to be on the week 1 roster. I would be quite surprised after all this reporting if he were, right? So who's going to be the lead back? Based on tonight, Chris Rodriguez looked very good. He had fewer carries than Bill, and the plan would be Bill definitely get some run, like a good amount of run. That's just based off of tonight. And then just shout out Jalen Lane. He had his flashes. Yeah. He had a nice little punt return. As a receiver, he looked clean and crisp. And so Josh Johnson had some connections with Jalen Lane, which was really nice. And so good for Jalen. So I think that he had himself a nice day. And so that's on the offensive side of the ball. Defensive side of the ball, shout out Andre Jones Jr. getting himself a sack. And then short of that, at least on the second unit, it was a bit more difficult to find like true standouts. Jake Browning is a very good backup, in my opinion. He's started a number of games for the Cincinnati Bengals, and I think he was either a Pro Bowl alternate or something like that. Solid player. And Mitch Tinsley played well. So that more or less concludes that. Let's touch on a couple winners and losers. I touched on a winner in Chris Rodriguez. K-Dot, did you have a winner in mind on your end?
Tight end's not named Ben Sinnott.
Yeah.
It's another week. Once again, he had the one good block, as I said early on the game, on the run, on the Debo jet sweep. But beyond that, just kind of missing. And there was also some weird stuff happening with some of the blocking on another play a little later on where it just looked like he was kind of lost in space. So, like, I don't know. Like, I'm not watching all 22 in this game, of course, but it seems as though with the opportunities that they've had and me hearing what happened in practices over the last week, which is that him and Jaden were actually connecting pretty well. It's just another disappointing night, especially the night in which like Cole Turner had a good catch, in which John Bates is still looking dope. Like
his blocking, by the way, live. Wow.
Dog, he's the best blocking tight end in football. Like,
well, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I was remember. I said everybody, John Bates is the lock. I don't know. You ain't watching football if you don't think he's a lock.
Mm-hmm.
You have to keep him on your team. Yeah, running back room, everybody not named Brian Robinson, but I guess at this point he doesn't care.
I wouldn't even necessarily call him a loser just because of how
care.
poor. Like, I think he himself would have also done just fine against these guys.
Probably. That's the other thing is like I think that they're really trying to see about Bill. I think Chris Rodriguez, the Rodriguez McNichols thing, I think is the competition. And I think right now you can absolutely say Rodriguez has the up. Eckler's the interesting thing, I think, in the sense of like what it is they're really asking of him going into the season. I really do think it's going to be a bit of a committee sort of thing. I love them more and more that they're getting Bill involved in the passing game. Like that to me is what that to me
He'll
is
be valuable there.
Yeah, that to me is the thing to really, really take a look at. Kinlaw, anybody that was wondering about your contract, I know it's just preseason against the Bengals, but early return, sir. Like looking pretty good.
I would throw Dorrance in there, by the way, Dorrance Armstrong.
The D-line had a good night. Mostly, especially the D-line was better early on in the game, and then it kind of trickles away or gets a little up and down. But it's like the D-line had some moments where it did look decent. Cliff Kingsbury, there's some shit that's happening on the offense that I think actually looks pretty fucking cool. And yeah, that's it as far as winners. And losers, I can't really think of anybody else necessarily off the top of my head. Thank you, Matt Gay, for me not saying your name. Trustway doing Trustway shit.
The opening special teams return allowed. That got to the 45. That's annoying.
Yeah, I was willing to forgive it, at least to some degree, just because of how negative the Patriots game was. I'm like trending in the right direction, sirs.
Yeah, progress.
Yeah, it's progress, man. It's something. Defensive penalties. Losers, defense as a whole, on the defensive penalty. Is this no, can't do it. And then also offensively, Bobby Hart, I think it might be done. Like this is 2 penalties in this game, a penalty in the Patriots game. Like it's one thing to be out the contract. It's another thing to like be doing all these fucking mistakes that you've been doing. The offensive holding, I think he has 2 holdings and 1 false start at this point. Like you just got to clean it up. Like if you're averaging a penalty or 2 per game, that's not going to do anybody any favors, sir. Yeah, I think that's about it. Oh, team camaraderie is a big winner. Like I'm sure you could see you guys saw the.
Oh, the vibe was real. Yeah, the
vibe. Dude, on TV, I'm sorry, it looked like a fucking party, bro. Like it was like
it was.
Everybody was having a blast. Like you seeing Jaden do the interview while Bobby Wagner's over on the side, like talking and like staring at him, and Jaden's kind of looking, and it's so they're having so much fun. To see the head coach lift our starting quarterback up off the ground and want to twirl him around. I just love the vibes here.
Yeah. No, totally agreed on the vibes. That's excellent. And 2 players, you'd mentioned Ben Sinnott as somebody you want to see more from. And I'd love to see more from Luke McCaffrey. And so 0 targets on the night, not necessarily his fault. I think there were a couple moments where he was in fact open, but you want to see the stats for him also, continue to grow. And so unfortunately tonight was 0 targets, 0 catches. And so looking for him to make an impact sooner rather than later. Any final thoughts here before we move to the comment mailbag?
I'm ready for football, like real football.
Yeah. Me too. And we got one preseason game left against the Baltimore Ravens. We do not have a joint practice with them because this was Monday Night Football. It's going to be a quick turnaround. And so with that, we go to the comment mailbag featuring an intro from our very own Nikki.
Comment mailbag time, motherfuckers. District divided, ain't got time for no suckers. Spread the word, get in line. OGs and new G's, it's your time. And spread the gospel, cause this shit is divine. Yeah.
All right, thank you as always for that intro, Nikki. And so, as a reminder, with the context of this last video, we had some Commanders roster moves. Dominique Hampton was cut, and Duke Riley took his spot. Who, by the way, there was a questionable moment where did he score? No, it was an incomplete pass going forward. But it was him in number 45 instead of Dominique Hampton. We had the Burgundy Gold scrimmage. We had Terry Adam Peters along with the Charles Robinson clips around what he believes for the league and for Terry and for Adam Peters. And so that's everything you need to know as we now dive in. Beginning with Benjamin Cole, 250 shout out. Yeah, K-Dot's in my house. We're all on one accord, period. K-Dot, your reaction.
I remember once we were, me and my family, it was me and my dad, my mom, my sister were watching the Redskins play the Cowboys. And there was at one point in time, Emmitt Smith took a run and he ran maybe like 25, 30 yards. And my mom's a Jamaican national, doesn't really watch football, but was there with us that day. And she looked at TV and she said, oh my God, look at that boy run. We didn't talk to her for 2 weeks. Refused. She just didn't do it. Like, just didn't want to talk.
She didn't even know.
She had no idea. It wasn't even her fault, but we refused. Like, it just wasn't going to happen. How dare you? Like, how fucking dare you? So, like, there is an element. I like the idea of everybody being on the court. And like I said, if you do have a situation in which your kids are saying that they want to cheer for another team, like after you're even trying to get them involved, like the hometown team, it just means you need to figure out another way to show them love because they're not receiving it properly.
Which, you know what? Why don't we go ahead and go to Earl Bruce because he had a question around his kids and making them fans and stuff like that. And so Earl Bruce goes, thanks for answering my question concerning my kids. K-Dot, of all people, should understand the weirdness of younger women. K-Dot's not cursing next show. There should be an exemption for share this shit, and you've already cursed.
Not this one.
Yeah, the next proper one. I wonder what's prompting this move. Inquiring minds want to know. K-Dot, your reaction.
Two things. I'm glad you received all the stuff about family really well, Earl. I love you, buddy. Thanks. They could have went terribly. That's good. There was a second point. I remember the third point. What was the second point? The second point was I smoke entirely too much weed, man. It's messed me up. The cursing. Craig Hoffman's gone. There's a space that opened up at 9A.
Okay.
I need audition tape. So, like, I can't. Look, I've been trying to make
plenty of tape with you not cursing.
Dog, I've been trying to make a reel of us in this pod. You, stellar. You can go work anywhere you want to go work. Me, the immediate question is, all right, he's entertaining. He cannot be on radio. So, like, that's what I'm just trying to see whether or not I'm capable of doing it.
Of course you're capable of doing it. You're more than capable of doing it.
Dog, I was in a Zoom meeting, like, on a big contract. Like, I had a client. There's, like, a big deal. And, like, halfway through the meeting, I was like, that's fucking stupid. I got the deal, though. So, like, I'm being rewarded. I get rewarded for bad behavior, but I'm like, I want to prove that I can do it.
Coach Lombard goes, that's part of my indictment against AP. He prioritizes athleticism over fundamental football. They got a thumbs up. K-Dot, your reaction to that?
I gotta say, I feel like the Eagles kind of do the same thing a lot of times, but that's just me.
Yeah, so Jordan Mailata immediately jumps to mind for me, right? A former rugby player, you see the athleticism and go, I wonder if it can work out, and it worked out splendidly. Mm-hmm. Now, to your point, Coach, this is the second straight year we have finished in first place in terms of raw athletics score. So, yeah, there is certainly a point there. Now, in terms of fundamental football, I can't speak to all the specifics of all the players' tape and stuff like that. It did not work out with Dominique Hampton, who did score quite well in that raw athletic score. And we did attempt to move from safety to linebacker in the hopes of capitalizing that speed and size at that position. It just didn't work. Now we go over to, let's get a compliment here. Martin Collins, shout out. Y'all rock. Keep up the great work. MC Commander. Thank you very much, Martin. Really appreciate that. And then we got Nebs Terrify going. Don't stop potting. This is a quality Commanders podcast. And who are the 3 random dudes with megaphones? K-Dot, your reaction.
Stock images.
We go to, and thank you for that.
Type in megaphone and graphics on Canva.
Nebs Terrify also goes, would love to share a round with y'all and throw Subway sandwiches after 2. Your reaction.
As long as there's some ice agents on the receiving end of that fucking sandwich, let's go. Let's fucking go.
Pretty dope clip. All the reactions too were like, yeah.
So this week I'm driving I gave my dad my car because I'm about to go across country at the end of this week. So I have a car because I'm leaving from Dulles. I'm driving a bright blue convertible Mustang with a aftermarket exhaust. It's really loud. I am so scared to drive in DC right now. Like it's just but hey, look, you guys say the word. If we want to start this sandwich war shit with these federal fuckos, I'm down. I'm fucking down.
Fair enough. I mean, it's weird being in DC with all this stuff happening.
Dystopian shit.
It is. Like, we're checking our phones to see where the stops are happening. What happened near me just a couple days ago? Yeah, it's weird. Like, it's really.
I know I don't know how to. I'm gonna end up in fucking prison. I got down there, man. Watch me end up in a fucking.
No, and I believe you. Yeah, just to be clear. Oh man, I'd have to look out for you. Okay, let's go to Jamal Bibishar Bonwi. Shout out. Been a while. I think AP is facing a dilemma. Terry has become a team fixture and very valuable. Business-wise, it makes sense to let him go. The team needs more draft picks. Also, let's not forget, Terry is under contract. He put his name on it. AP could amend the current contract and give him an $8 million bonus if the team makes it to the big game. And so that's the comment. And then an extra line here. Also, AP could be thinking that he has Terry's replacement in Jalen Lane. K-Dot, your reaction.
I will never try to, there's one thing that I've tried to stay away from in the Terry discussion, which is the whole you're under contract as some sort of indictment on this is the way you're supposed to act because you're under contract. It don't go both ways. If a team wants to cut one of these fucking players, especially NFL, they can do it without any recourse. Right. All these make-believe numbers and all. I'm not under the idea that you have an obligation as a player to unless these contracts become fully guaranteed, as in like Major League Baseball or basketball. Miss me with that shit. But it's like the comps are still bad. And the first time I did, I bought Madden 26, which Cliff Kingsbury's offense, Madden 26 is insane. It's fucking insane. I don't know what the fuck is happening half the time. Like I'm saying, what the fuck is that? What does that even mean? I don't know what's happening until Jalen Lane has the football and he's like running off. I'm like, oh, that's cool. I'm sorry. I just said, you know what? Fuck it. I'm done. I just had a separate thought.
Well, now you gotta go. While you do that, what I'll say is Jalen Lane was, to me, drafted, and his comp was like baby Debo, right? So there was this sort of, he's versatile. He can line up more or less, in the slot outside, maybe not running back, but like he's got a versatility to his game. As a matter of fact, when I think of Luke McCaffrey, I think he's actually a bit more the Terry comp, believe it or not, in my eyes. And the reason being that what was he good at in college? Contested catches. And so I think there was an idea of, okay, well, if Luke plays really well, we got a succession plan. And if Jalen plays really well, we have a succession plan, or at minimum, people to learn from, which is perfect. So I think that's actually the comp I would go with Jamal, is actually Luke. It's just not working out right now. That's what I would say.
I just think that overall, when it comes to this, I mean, you can see it not really working out for Luke, and that's the thing that works out for Terry is that he gets the ball anyway, even if he's not necessarily open. On Madden, if you look, their top 3 receivers are all 29 years old. It just makes you look at it. It's like, I can understand if they want to get younger. I can understand if they want to kind of look towards the future or anything. And I understand if I'm looking at these contract situations with Terry and with Debo, then you got a decision to make.
Yeah. And they certainly do. And we continue to wait to see what ends up happening over here. MF quotes goes, the first time I played football was 2011, and I was number 10 playing wide receiver and cornerback. And one day the Redskins were playing, and number 10, Jabbar Gaffney, scored a touchdown, and he became my favorite player, turning me into a Redskins fan. Shout out Jabbar Gaffney, crying, laughing emoji. How about it? Jabbar Gaffney. I remember watching him. I'd gone to a game with my buddy Robert and I think John also. So high school friends, and Jabbar Gaffney, we were like right behind one of the end zones, and he had this insane one-handed grab. And I mean, we all remember, I certainly remember that. I'm bringing it up now, but it was epic. It was Robert's first ever game, and he was just like, holy shit, that is incredible. So shout out Jabbar Gaffney. K-Dot, your reaction?
I think he played one more season after that in
Is that
Miami for nothing.
That's a shame.
He was only here for a year.
Yeah, what a year.
It was the best year of his career. Like I think he distanced it. But no, that was it. That was pretty much it.
MF Quotes concludes this comment mailbag before we go to 2 very, very quick ones. MF Quotes goes, when y'all talk about Terry and the contract situation, I am Amit, hopeful and optimistic, and I hate that K-Dot is good at being devil's advocate and has logic behind his points. And it's like this emoji and the crying, laughing emoji. I just want this to end for Jaden, Cliff, and my Twitter timeline. I mean, we all want it to end. We all want resolution to it. And once again, we continue to wait and see. He was not at the stadium for this game, K-Dot. Any reaction to that?
In 2001, Jabbar Gaffney got accused of beating, kicking, choking, and attempted to drown a woman's son.
Was this in Florida?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
He's got a rap sheet.
I did not know that.
Jabbar Gaffney. More felonies and touchdowns. Cool. Let's go.
Boy, oh boy.
Dude, I'm punch drunk. I'm done. I'm fucking done.
Okay, so nothing on the Terry stuff.
I'm over the Terry stuff. Like at the end of the day, I haven't really necessarily changed exactly where I'm at. I still think the number's going to come back at 28, 29. I still think he's going to play for us this season. And that's what it's going to be. Terry, did you? Oh no, you were at the game. They asked Jaden about the contract situation with Terry, and he said that I think it's only a matter. What was his quote? I know I wrote it down. He said that he thought that it was only a matter of time before he walked in through the door. And that made me feel a little good, but it also made me feel just the same way I know I've always felt about this, which is all just part of the process. I think the only thing that's different is Terry's a little butthurt. And I understand him being a little butthurt. Oh, yeah, I know he'll be coming through that door soon.
Okay.
So that means
just like a hopeful tone. I think he's just saying
I didn't sense hopeful as much as I felt like it's whatever, man. Like it's like that's what I felt.
What else is he gonna say?
I felt like in the moment,
could say that, I guess.
In the moment, I felt as though there was something else he could have said.
He's got endorphins going too. He's excited. I think that's all he's saying.
I mean, he on the sideline. He was kind of chill. I'm just saying, like he spoke.
I was about 20 yards away from him. he just giddy as hell. He was having a great time on the sideline.
No, guess A-Train gave him a little something. Stay away from the tests.
You should see, actually, right by the kicking station, they got all sorts of things. We go to Anthony Gardino. Shout out. B-Rob is getting cut. And that was just before the game. Tonight did him no favors, just because of how easy it was to run on the Bengals. And people look at the stats and be like, okay, well, we don't need B-Rob. He provides something different, but it's clearly not working out. Like, he just won't be on the team. I don't even know what we could get in a trade. I would be surprised if he ends up getting traded, honestly.
My understanding is there is a market.
Okay. Well,
what the market looks like I don't think you're looking at anything probably above a 4th or a 5th rounder.
4th or 5th. I don't think you're getting anything above a 6th.
Even if that's the case, you take it. But I just don't think we'll be in a situation where he gets cut. That although that contract is for what he produces is fairly massive. I do think that I think that he could be valuable for a particular number of teams.
Yeah, no, that's fair. And Chicago's dealing with any number of injuries right now. That's an example of a place that could end up using him.
I mean, he's just a poor man's Dave Montgomery.
And Carlton Williams concludes going, Sam Hartman is a bum, which was in the middle of the game. Once again, Sam Hartman, just unfortunately, it's back-to-back games where it has not gone well for everyone's eye candy, I suppose.
They'll never take you away from me.
It should be on the practice squad.
He better be on the practice squad.
That was the Comment Mailbag.
First spring in my heart. That's all.
This was the show. This was District Divided, a DC sports podcast, more specifically, a Washington Commanders podcast. Thank you guys so much for listening to this episode where we recapped the Bengals Commanders game and we went through the Comment Mailbag as we always do. So if you enjoyed the video, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, comment as you always do, and K-Dot.
You see a federal agent in DC throw a motherfucking sandwich at that bitch. And share the shit. But don't share that I told you to do that.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I would say share this shit first because I'm not sure you're going to be able to after you throw the sandwich.
Just cut the last part. Just you need to internalize what it is I say.
Okay.
Throw said sandwich and then don't tell him where you got the idea.
Do that.
There's been a guy. I mean, it's apparently it's graffiti all over. You guys have apparently some sort of mythical hero in DC now. It's awesome.
So we'll see you guys Friday, 2 p.m. as we always do. So until then, take it easy.
Bye, everybody.
In DC, we're just hoping that you listen.